going to tell you guys a story about a 14-year-old girl who found out that she was pregnant. She was very scared, didn't know what to do, so her father helped her make that decision. They drove to an abortion clinic where the parking lot was empty of protesters, no advocates or yelling or anything like that. So I'd like to ask you today to put yourself in the shoes of what if you were told you were pregnant. For the men watching, what if your wife or girlfriend or sex partner told you that they were pregnant? What would you do? What would you feel? Some people would be happy, expecting congratulations, but some of us would be stressed out, would not know what to do, depending on our circumstances. So today we're going to talk about the basics of sex education. Do you know your body? Do you know what's going on every month in a woman's body when she's ovulating? We're going to talk about if you don't want to become pregnant, you take birth control pills or some kind of birth control that you do. I'm going to share with you one testimony of my niece who was on a birth control patch, and then I will end with facts on abortion and adoption. So just to educate a little bit on what happens every month with a woman's body is she releases a mature egg, and it waits to see if it's going to be fertilized. And so this is a time when if you're trying to get pregnant, this would be a good time. It's important for you to develop a relationship with your doctor or OB-GYN to know your body. So the sperm makes it to the egg, then conception has happened and you will be pregnant. So you may ask yourself, what if I don't want to be pregnant? This is where birth control comes in. You can do abstinence. You can practice abstinence, which is to not have sex so that you don't get pregnant. Or you can use condoms, which I just found out is 82% productive. And then there is very famous is birth control pills, and that can be in a pill, a patch, can be in a vaginal ring. Either way, it's a contraceptive. And so what it's doing, the contraception, is it's stopping the natural cycle in our bodies to prevent pregnancy. And where I wanted to share with you the testimony of my niece. She had just graduated high school. She's 18 years old. And she was dating a boy who she ended up moving in with, and so she began to wear a patch. She ended up passing away on December 2nd, 2016, and we found out later that it was because she had developed blood clots in her lungs. And as we read up more on the risks, it turns out that it was linked to her having migraines with aura. I don't know if that was told to her doctor or not. So the reason I tell you this story is to inform you, to let you know how important it is that you develop a relationship with your doctors. Let everything be known. So this is your body. These are things that are going into your body, and it's important for you to be aware, to have knowledge of it. And lastly, I'm going to talk about abortion procedures. So I asked you in the beginning, what would you do if you found out that you were pregnant? There are lots of women who, I want to let you know that the only two options that we have power over is abortion and adoption. Anything else that happens during the pregnancy, we don't have a say-so in that. But where we do have the choice is, I don't want this baby, so I choose to get an abortion. I'm not going to speak to you whether or not that's right, but I will let you know that you need to be aware of what's happening during an abortion procedure, which up to 12 weeks, they do an aspiration. It's a vacuum. They numb, they sedate you, they numb your cervix. They use some kind of specimen that allows the cervix to open, and they go in with basically a vacuum and they suck out the embryo. Now, after 12 weeks, they do a D&E, dilation and evacuation. That one is very similar to the aspiration, but they have to use forceps because the baby has now grown a lot bigger. So they have to make sure that they get all the baby body parts out. I have been a witness to ambulances coming to abortion clinics because they left a body part or they somehow perforated the uterus and they bleed. So there's a lot of risks with abortion procedures. Make sure that you know them before you go. Don't just let anybody tell you this side or this side. Make sure that you know. You do the research. You can go to WebMD and you can talk to your OB-GYN about that. So another option that we have that's in our power is adoption. I don't have personal experience with adoption, but I do know people who have adopted, and I know people who give their babies up for adoption. So I did read that it's free if you want to go through. If you want to go through the process, it is free. And if you're in a financial crisis, they can help you with this process. Like they help you with your rent, with your, anything that you need. You become a birth mom is basically what you're doing. So there's some stories that I read where there's relief after abortion, there's grief. Again, it's up to you to gain knowledge. It's empowering when you have the knowledge. You make the decision for yourself. Own your choice and know all your options. So I gave you the basics on sex education, knowing your body. And so back to the 14-year-old girl who had the abortion was me. I remember every detail of that day. But the one thing that stood out to me was that I didn't have anyone out there to tell me that I had other options. So today, I stand out in front of abortion clinics, and I don't shame or judge anybody who walks in there. I love them. And if they want the help, if they want to gain more knowledge, then I will give them those resources. So I want you to be empowered. That is what I am trying to get through to you guys, is to be empowered, know what you're doing, know your choices, and own your choice when you make it. Thank you.
Right in. Oh,